Lake Atitlán will absolutely blow you away, and Guatemala is one of my favorite ever countries, coming in top 3 out of 80 countries. Welcome to another Wright video, and welcome to the beautiful Lake Atitlán. This place genuinely has something for everyone. Partying, yoga, good food, boat trips, and everything in between. We've just spent the last 7 days exploring everything that this landscape, this lake, this absolute ridiculous environment has to offer, and I'm going to be walking you through everything that you need to know, how to get here, where to stay, and the best thing to do in each of the locations. If you have any questions, bang it in the old comments. Whilst you're down there, hit the old subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs, and let's get straight into it. First things first, how to get to Lake Atitlán, and depending on where you're going, across the lake and around on each of the old days. We've had to come off the waterfront because it's a little bit breezy, and I didn't want your ears getting absolutely assaulted with the old wind. So if you're in Antigua, me and my mum, we paid £100 for a taxi, door-to-door service. So yeah, that is the quickest and most efficient way. It's obviously not the most economical way. If you want to do it a little bit more budget friendly, I would advise getting a shuttle, which is $14 to Panachel, and then from Panachel you'll need to get a boat across to wherever you're staying. I'm going to advise staying in San Pedro. I'm going to go into that in a little while. So yeah, $14, and then it is £5 on the boat from Panachel. It's about an hour and a quarter, and if you have a big bag, they said you would have to pay more, so I would probably say double that. If you're backpacking, you might get away with it, but if you have a big case like us, it would have been, yeah, an extra tenner. And then yeah, 8 stops across the lake, different places, and it'll drop you off here in San Pedro. So you're probably looking at 25 quid versus 33. If you're on your own, goes without saying, that's obviously an astronomical difference. If there's 2, 3, 4 of you, then it breaks the price and the chance of getting a taxi a little bit easier. Getting around the lake is super easy. So if you go from San Pedro to San Marcos, it is £3 return on the boat. If you go to San Juan, you should be paying like £1, to be honest. It's like the quickest journey ever, and unless you're staying in the center of San Pedro, it's going to be a lot easier just to get a tuk-tuk. Yeah, between those. One key tip is always get a return ticket, because what happens is they change the price later in the day. So for example, we pay £3 on one day to go to San Juan and then San Marcos and back, and then just to come from San Juan back on one day, they were trying to charge us £3 just for that journey. So if you're not too dialed in with the old bartering front being on top of things, then yeah, make sure you get that locked in ahead of time. They go every 15 minutes, so when you just go to the waterfront, buy a ticket, they just wait for the boat to fill up. They're super quick. San Juan and San Marcos especially, there's so many boats going there. Yeah, it's well easy to just hop on one, and then yeah, wait for the next one. A key tip on the boats, we learned this the hard way: sit on the back of the boat when they're going. If it's choppy at all, you will be getting battered around the place if you're sat at the front. So yeah, definitely sit at the back. You get less turbulence. Me and my mum were nearly getting thrown out of the boat. We're getting covered in water and stuff, whereas the back bit sits in the water and the front bit sits like out of the water. So yeah, you just get absolutely yeah, nailed around. And then if you do get a tuk-tuk, which again is a good little way to get around, I think this is a pretty daft thing that they do, is that the tuk-tuks are specific to one area. So for example, they'll have on the front like San Juan, San Pedro, San Marcos, whatever it is, and they can take you between places. So we got tuk-tuks one day, and we were like, oh, can you take us to this coffee shop in San Juan? The guy's like, yeah. Drives us, and then he's like, oh, I've got to drop you here. And basically they can only drop you in like the center, and then the idea is then you would pay another tuk-tuk to like take you to the specific location. So I think that's a bit cheese, because if you're paying to go somewhere, I'm like, I want to go door-to-door service. But yeah, again, they can get you around, and again, you just barter a price. They do it usually on the amount of people. So if they take one person, they'll probably charge 10, like £1. If they take three, it'll be £3, even though they go in the same distance. So yeah, that's how to get around. Where to stay? For me, I would 100% stay in San Pedro. That's where we stayed. Lovely little spot right down on the waterfront. You can watch the sunrise in the morning. Just an all-round top drawer little setup. San Pedro has more variety and higher quality of food and better nightlife as well. So don't need to be partial to a beerwari, but it is nice when there's a little bit going on in the old evenings. So yeah, I would get there. There's loads of different food spots, whereas yeah, you're a little bit more restricted if you're in San Juan or San Marcos. And for me, I'll overlay now the recommendation on where to stay. It's right next to where we're staying. I wouldn't stay in our Airbnb. We've had a few scorpions knocking around, which is pretty loose behaviour, to be honest. But I think that is a little bit synonymous to the area. So do have a look on the reviews, because me and Em had a look on a few different places afterwards, and I think you do get quite a lot of spiders and scorpions. So if you're a little bit scared of that, yeah, maybe think twice. But let's run through the places, the best things to do, the best places to eat in a little bit more of a succinct format. So of course, San Juan, for me, this combines kind of all the other areas. It is still a little bit touristy, but I would say it's like 50% tourist, 50% local. So you get a little bit of both sides, a little bit of diversity in there as well. Top things, of course, do Mirador Kawasaki, again, not how you pronounce it, but I'll overlay it now. It's a little viewpoint, probably takes you 20 minutes to walk up. Don't walk in the middle of the day like we did. Absolute blistering heat, killing us getting up there. And then when you get to the top, stunning views over the lake, over San Juan, and yeah, a lovely little outing. You can get drinks at the top, you get a little beerwari, a little cerveza, and they also sell food up there. So yeah, for me, that's an absolute must. Great viewpoint, easily accessible, and yeah, top drawer. Another thing that I thought this was absolutely quality, we found it on like Insta or TikTok, or maybe I watched another vlog actually, is the Mayan stingless bees, and it is exactly what it says on the tin. You go to a bee farm, and then ultimately the bees, they just don't have a sting, and the guy was saying it's like synonymous with this area, and they also have some in Australia as well. I was asking him, how did they get all the way up to Australia, because that's a bloody long distance. But yeah, he didn't know the bloke, but yeah, lovely little spot. They do like a tour and a little tasting. It's not a super long tasting. It's like you taste 3 different honeys. Would highly recommend it. Charges like £2, £2 each. Try some honeys, talks you through the bees, walks you through their garden, their fruits, and everything in between. And then if you want to buy other stuff, I got a honey beer. I'd give it a little 6 out of 10. It was all right. It played a little bit of ball, and then Em was on a little bit of face lotion and stuff as well. So that was really, really cool. And then probably the highlight for me, and again, this depends if you drink or not. If you don't drink, probably skip this section because you will not enjoy this unless you like your charcuterie boards, your cheeses, your wines. I'll put the name on the screen now, but it is El Artisano Questo y Vino, and it is, again, exactly what it says on the old tin. It is a cheese and wine shop. It's open 12 till 3 every day, and it is phenomenal. They have 26 different cheeses, and I think it's 23 different meats. You can choose just meat, you can choose just cheese, or if you just want a little bit of wine, then you can also have just that. Sensational. All the food and drink there. You can put like all the raw honey on top, different fruits. Absolutely banging. So yeah, for me, that's the highlight of San Juan. And if you want to get a little bit of brunch, a little bit of breakfast, go to Navito coffee shop. The food in there was banging. I went for fajitas for breakfast because when you're traveling, you make your own rules. And what did they get? They got a little pancake jobby and stuff like that. I would just double check the bill in there. The only gripe I had was that they didn't give us like an actual bill. They just give us like a figure. And then when we worked it out later, it's like they charge us too much and charge us 15% service charge, which is pretty outrageous. But the milkshake, sensational. And I also got a little caramel macchiato, which is, yeah, different gravy. So yeah, definitely worth the day out to San Juan. And then San Pedro, as I kind of mentioned, this is where I'd base yourself, this is where I'd stay. There's more going on in terms of nightlife, there's more going on in terms of diversity of places to eat. This is very much like the more touristy of the 3 places I'm going to discuss. And it's just more active, more hostel type vibes, and yeah, it's just pretty top draw. In terms of nightlife, if you're a backpacker, if you're looking to stay in a hostel, I would stay at Mr. Mullet's. We went there for a few nights out. It's like the most active place. It has the best internet in San Pedro and maybe across the whole of the lake, to be honest. They've got like, I can't remember what it said now, they're on like Starlink. It's pretty good. Where we're staying, the internet is not the best. When I'm trying to upload YouTube videos and they're taking like 8 hours, that's not good for the old battery life of the laptop. But yeah, Mr. Mullet's, they do different events like beer pong. They do a boat trip on a Thursday. They do a bar crawl on a Tuesday and a Saturday. And it's like usually £1.50 for to £2.50 per drink. Active place. Same with another little spot called Sublime. This is like looking onto the water, so you could go here for like semi-sunset drinks, and it's also pretty good in the evening. They're doing like tequila shots for like for £1. Yeah, which is pretty bloody good. 2 little recommendations on places to eat in San Pedro. Number 1 is Sabin, like shawarma shop. Just go in there, get the chicken shawarma, the flavor combinations. Whoo! Oh baby, it was banging. And then they have this like little like lemon chutney type dish. Just absolutely gorgeous. So we actually went there for lunch and dinner yesterday. That's how good this place is. And you're looking at like £6 for a big chicken shawarma. They do like falafel, they do beef, but for me, the chicken shawarma was the absolute standout. So get that in the mix, get that in the bones. I'm going to overlay the name of another one now. It's like basically the hotel next to where we're staying. Looks out onto the waterfront. Brilliant spot for a little sunset. We just had breakfast in there, which was banging. Little eggs, avocado on toast. That's the G-Dub staple. And then we also went for dinner. Spag bowl, silly amounts of cheese. It's just top draw. Do really nice beers. You get like a pitcher of beer for £6.50. So yeah, would highly recommend that for the staff, the food, the quality, the views and everything in between. Like absolutely banging on that front. It's actually called Mikasa Hotel. So yeah, for me, I would say the food is better, Sabin, but the views, the vibes, and just a real chilled out drink is definitely better. Yeah, the old hotel. And then San Marcos, this is more like hippie vibes, tarot reading, yoga, retreat-esque. I think this is probably the most picturesque to look at. But I don't know if I would want to be staying there. I don't know what the activity and the atmosphere is like in the old evening. So yeah, we'd definitely do this. We did 2 day trips here. One to go to the Eagle's Nest Yoga. I am no yoga expert, but I would love to anyone to let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen a more picturesque and beautiful yoga studio looking over Lake Atitlán? It's absolutely outrageous. Like phenomenal, beautiful, gorgeous, sensational, scintillating. The amount of words we could be putting in here to describe it. We did a yoga session, which was an hour and a half. Very impressed with the yoga, the stretches, the holds, the poses, talking you through it. It costs us $20 per person. You can stay there. It is pretty spenny. Me and Emma had a little look up. You're looking at like $150 per night. So if you're here on holiday, maybe that is your vibe. I personally wouldn't stay there regardless of the money. But yeah, again, that might be up your street, and you get like unlimited yoga sessions. You can use the cold plunge, the sauna, the spa, all that good stuff as well. But the yoga was absolutely brilliant. We did a little, I want to say yin and yang, but maybe that's probably not the right words for it. But we did like the feminine side first, which is the masculine side first, which is the strength holds. And the harder stuff, and then at the end you do the more, is what they say, like the more feminine ones, the longer the holds, the poses, the flexibility, which is ideal with my knee. So yeah, I was very impressed with that. And then you do a little session at the end where it's like super relaxing, and you just like lie down. I think it's for like 8 minutes and do different things. I'm like pretty confident I fell asleep, you know, when you like wake yourself up. So yeah, for me, that was absolutely excellent. The other place you want to go to is Cerro Tizangful diving board. If you've not watched yesterday's video, I went into this a little bit more detail, but it's in a little national park. There is a diving board. You sit out in the sun. It's a great spot for a sunset there. So the way it works, San Juan and San Pedro, you'll actually lose the sun at like 4:30ish roughly, because it kind of goes behind the mountains, behind the hills. Again, still very beautiful, but San Marcos, you've got the sun for the maximum amount of time. It's a great spot to chill, get a bit of vitamin D in the bones. It's going to set you back £2 to go in. There are loads of places you can jump off the rocks and a specific diving board. I saw somebody get really injured yesterday on the diving board. They jumped off the 15-metre one. The girl couldn't feel her legs for like three hours after. Again, I talked about this a little bit yesterday and the story. It's a great spot, lovely setting. I won't be jumping off the 15-metre diving board. There's one that's like 4 meters, so if you do want to jump, get in the water, get amongst it, or if you don't want to jump in, you just want to slide in the water, that is also possible. But if you are going to do the 15-meter one, do be careful, because seen a couple injuries now in the 2 days you've gone, and one looked like a real serious one. So do be careful. Beautiful spot, but obviously it's pretty loose jumping from 15 meters in to the old lake itself. Final recommendation for San Marcos is Circle Cafe. Again, it's what we do on this channel. We give you the best brunch spots, the best coffee recommendations. Coffee, straight 10 out of 10. I got this little sandwich number. Ridiculous sandwich, like absolutely unbelievable. Bake all their bread in store. I had like ham, no, not ham, I had chorizo and cheddar in there, and again, straight 10 out of 10. However, it was like we've just had double 10s out of 10. Can anything top that? And oh baby, can it? I went for a croissant. It is the best croissant I've ever had in my entire life. I've been to Italy many a times. I've been to France many a times. I've been to 80 different countries, sampled pastries across the globe, and genuinely, the contrasting texture in this croissant, they should write bloody stories about it. The outside, nice bit of crunch to it, nice bit of glaze, good flavors, and then the inside of the croissant was super, super soft, and just absolutely next level. So cannot speak highly enough about the croissants and stuff. Overall, like, it goes without saying, hopefully this has come across in me discussing Lake Atitlán, but it's an absolute must. Guatemala as a whole is either, if it's not top 4, if it's not top 3, it's definitely top 4 in my all-time favourite countries list. Been to 80 different countries, so hopefully that speaks a lot of the environment, the culture, the people. We've got someone burning some bloody land down next to me over here, so hopefully that's adding to the old ambiance. But I've absolutely loved our time. We've had great weather the whole time we've been here, which obviously does help. And I think it is one of those places as well, you do need good weather, because if it's not sunny, a lot of the activities are you're out on a boat, you're out on a lake, you're out exploring a city centre. I don't know how enjoyable it would be. So if you are going to come here, come in like the summer and the dry months, which is ideally between November and April time. I'm sure it's beautiful all year round, and I'm sure it will be because of the people here. Everyone is so friendly in Guatemala. I'll put them up there with like the Philippines, in just, everyone's just excited just to talk to you, engage with you. I would hand on heart say it's, again, one of the safest places I've been. I'm traveling me, my mum and Em, so it is different if you were a solo traveler, a couple of girls traveling, girl on your own, etc. But for me, everyone here, super friendly, super nice. And again, similar in like South America and Central America, it's not a very like hassling culture or sales process. So if somebody's trying to sell you, I don't know, a souvenir or a painting class or whatever it may be, then I would, it's kind of like a one-stage transaction. Do you want to buy this? Yes, no. And then once it's a no, that's it. Super friendly, super nice people. And I've just reminded myself, one thing I forgot to mention on San Pedro is do a painting class. We did a painting class. It was like £6 per hour, including like the paint, and you have a one like an artist who's coaching 2 people at the same time. The guy was coaching me and my mum, who had the artistic ability of probably like a wooden spoon or something. So he got us through it. He can get you through it. That was obviously pretty top draw. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to run you through. The people, everyone's super friendly, would highly recommend. I've got a day vlog on every single day. that we've been here. So if you do want to go back and get a little bit more vlog style content, a little bit more in the moment, reacting to wines, cheeses, watching us paint, jumping off stuff, doing yoga, and everything in between, obviously go back on the old channel, check those out. If you have any questions, bang it in the old comments. I respond to every single message down there. The content is going to be coming thick and fast. We head to Guatemala City tomorrow afternoon, only there for half a day, and then we fly on to Costa Rica, 5 days in Costa Rica before moving over to Brazil for Christmas, Uruguay for New Year, and then yeah, into 2025 and beyond. So yeah, questions in the comments. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button, still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. Remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.